Hello. How is everybody today? How is everybody today? Oh, I better turn down my sound here. How is everybody today? Oh, I better turn down my sound here. How is everybody today? Oh, I better turn down my sound here. Okay, sorry about that. I have a new iPad, and that's turning the sound down. It's in a different spot. So, well, it's in the same spot, but the way that I have this cover on makes it feel like it's a different spot. So anyway, how are you? How was your Sunday today? Mine has been really great. Church online went well this morning. Wasn't up too terribly late like last week. And I did a little bit of sewing this early afternoon. And I am gonna, after this, I'm just gonna relax with my husband and have some dinner. So it should be a nice day. All right, let's see who's here. Hi, Sandra. Good to see you. Frugalisma, I forgot your first name. If you'll remind me, I'm sorry. Hi, Nina. Hello. Oh, thank you so much. I just got it cut and colored, but I don't. It's too dark. I think she forgot what she uses on me or something, because it's just way darker than it usually is. So I'm a little on the fence about it. I love the cut, but it's usually a lot lighter than this. Oh, hi, Sam. Sorry, I forgot. I won't forget again. Hi, Dottie. Good to see you. Hi, Joan. Teresa. Hi, Dolores. Judith. Good to see you guys. Hi, Della. Hi, Deborah. Oh, we are going to start our in-person services on Labor Day weekend. So that's be kind of cool to have everybody back together again. Unfortunately, we're not going to have any kids programming because the logistics of that is just, I don't know how some other churches are doing it, but our elders opted not to do anything for kids right away. And so that's going to be an interesting conundrum for families. I know my kids are not going to be coming because of that, but understandably, for sure. Hi, Rhonda. Good to see you. Hi, Ivy. Oh, thank you. It's lightening up as I wash it, actually, but it's usually more of a dark strawberry blonde. So this is really different. And at first I hated it, but I've washed it, several times now, and it's lightening up, and it's a little less offensive to me now. So that's good. Hi, Marilyn. Good to see you. Does anybody talk a lot with Crafty Mystic? Her name is Deb. She shared a just heart-wrenching post on Instagram. Several deaths in their family, like all within a few days, and also she's in Iowa. So keep her in your prayers and thoughts. I felt really bad when I read that. If you follow her on Instagram, look up her post. I can't remember all the things, but it was like her mother-in-law, her husband's aunt, I think. Anyway, just a lot of people all at once. So let me see if I can maybe look and be able to tell you that real quick, because I don't want to get it wrong. Oh, her mother, her husband's aunt, her husband's brother died a month ago, and then when she called her half brother's house to let them know about her mom, she learned that he had also passed away. So I'll tell you, that's a lot. And then you put that on top of Iowa and all the storms, and she had friends with damage. I'll tell you, she's been on my mind a lot. So keep her in your prayers. So anyway, my screen was frozen, and it is not attractive. All right. Let's see. Thank you, Judith. Tulsa, Oklahoma, Pearson family. Yeah, I was really sad when I read her Instagram. My heart just went out to her. What a lot of things, just all at once. It's a very heavy heart. She's a real sweet person, too. She's been a subscriber of mine for, like, I think the beginning. And she's, always on this chat. So I doubt whether she'll be here today, but please keep her in your prayers. So what's everybody sewing this week? I'm working on two tests for Ellie and Mac. Exciting new patterns coming. One's a children's pattern, one's a men's pattern. And let's see, what else am I doing? After that, I think I'm going to do something for myself because I have been sewing a lot for other people. So I think it's time I made something for me. Oh, thank you, Deborah. I actually, this is left over from a gift I made for my daughter-in-law. I made her the breezy top from Ellie and Mac with this, and then there was like a little bit over a yard left over, so I made a classic tee with it from Love Notions. So I loved it, and so I asked her if she'd mind if I made myself, one, and she was like, "Oh, that's fine," especially since hers is long sleeved and this is more of a spring, summer, early fall thing, and not dead of winter like hers is. So I don't think we'll wear them at the same time ever anyway. Libby shirt by Sew Over It. Kathy, how do you find the sizing on Sew Over It? I've had difficulty with their sizing in the past. Like I said on one of my videos, I have a love-hate relationship with them. I love the look of their patterns, but many times I have to size way up. My Audrey top fits really well though, so I end up with good garments. It's just a lot more fiddling, I guess, than some of the other companies. Ooh, what kind of quilt, Judith? Let's see. Sam's working. I made a shirt for a friend's husband's 50th birthday. Aw, fun. Anne's recovering a couch seat cushion. Lots of things. Teresa's printing PDFs. Oh, you know what? Put a movie on. They'll go really fast. Taping patterns. Sometimes I'll take a stack with me downstairs, turn on a movie, and just put a little craft table in front of me and tape away and watch movies. If nobody's home, I'll just do it up here. But if my husband's home and I just kind of want to spend time with him but still get something done, I'll just tape PDF patterns together while we watch we like to watch Grantchester together. That's a PBS show that's really fun. And we're behind, so we have a lot of episodes to watch before we would be caught up. So we really like that show. It's sort of a whodunit, but in a cute sort of way. And there's this priest is he's a priest, but he's a detective, so it's kind of interesting. Haven't been able to sew lately, Dottie says. She said, I just returned from visiting my father in Florida after he suffered a stroke. Oh, I'm so sorry. There's so much sadness everywhere you look right now. I'm so sorry, Dottie. Is your father doing well? How's he doing now? Hi, Lisa. Good to see you. Lisa made 2 Love Notions Harmony muslins and nailed down the fit. Amen. I'd love to hear that. That's awesome. Oh, Jan watches Grantchester too. It's a great show. I love it. Oh, you know what? Harmony's great in quilting cotton. It's just so comfortable and cool. I also like it in rayon challis. A really nice fabric. Judith says a stripped pieced diamond wall hanging, then onto a family unfinished top that's about 70 years old. Oh, that's awesome. I'd love to see that. I was gifted our family was gifted a quilt. When my grandmother passed away, she had a quilt half done, and the ladies of her church finished it and gave it to my dad, and I ultimately ended up with it. And it's falling apart, but it's beautiful still. I like to take it to the park when I was doing family photos, all those years ago. And I used to like to take that one to the park because it had a bunch of colors in it. It looked real old fashioned and worn. So how everybody tries to make the new stuff look worn, I didn't have to do that. It already looked worn. And it just always made a nice little background for families to sit on in the nature. So, an audiobook of Grantchester. That's cool. So you have a new fold-up table. Good. That'll work. Jan is making a Love Notions pedal top. I think that's Ellie Mac pedal top. I don't think Love Notions has a pedal top. But I could be wrong. I don't know. I definitely don't know everything. Oh, I'm really glad he's okay then, Dottie. That's so hard. I've been through that actually with my dad, so before he passed. So I know how hard that is. Oh, thank you so much, Dan. They are beautiful girls, aren't they? And so there's no bad pictures of them. They're just gorgeous. Hello. You're not late at all. Not at all. This is a come and go as you please chat. So we're happy to have you here. I didn't give the tip yet today. So, and actually, we aren't even supposed to be started yet. It's not even 3 yet, but that's okay. I get on here a little early usually to, I've got to get set up, and so I just go ahead and I want to be like online and ready for you guys right at 3. So. Oh, really, Anne? Would you share? As much as I talked to Tammy, I have never asked her that about the name and the musical instruments. Would you share that, please? Because I've never heard that. I'm a musician, so I've always thought it was really cool, but I never knew what the story was behind that. I figured one of them was a musician, maybe. I do know that only the woven patterns are musical terms. So if there's a knit pattern, it won't be a musical term. Only the ones that are woven or could be woven, like Vivace can go either way, but since there's a woven component, it got a musical term. Oh, that's cool. How do you do with your Etsy shop? I opened one and then never did anything with it. Well, extra cash flow for your sewing habit is not a bad thing. I mean, that's kind of what I got doing this, and it's nice to be able to, get more fabric when you see it on sale. It's nice to go, be able to have money when you see things that you want, and it's nice to have the money when they're on sale instead of saving up and then there's never a sale then, right? Whenever you save up everything. Yes, you got to support that habit for sure. Thanks, Lisa. I appreciate that. This fabric looks better on my daughter-in-law than me. This is yard and a half left from what I made her last Christmas, so I made myself a classic tee out of it. And her sister loves notions. That's cool. I knew that it was the woven patterns that I knew, but I didn't know who is she a musician or I never asked her. Yeah, I do. I make my grandkids' clothes sometimes with scrap knits, and then sometimes doll clothes. And sometimes there's enough to piece together something for myself, because Ellie Mac has a lot of great patterns that you can use small pieces, like the 24/7. I made that using scraps. This new scrappy top that they have, that one you could do with scraps. And I think the autumn spice you could probably do. So there's a lot of good scrap busting patterns that you can do that with. That's cool. Good to know. What size classic tee do I use, and did I use the full bust front piece? I did not use the full front bust piece. I do the extra large, and I then just take a little bit more in the hips, not all the way to extra extra large, but just a little bit more. And I don't really need I'm on the verge of whether I need a full bust adjustment or not. So when I've tested for Tammy, she likes me to do a large up here, and then with the full bust piece, and it works out well. But the problem is then I have to really go out on the bottom, because I'm not anywhere close to just a large on the bottom. So but when I test for her, that's always what she wants me to do. So, and it usually, the Sunday romper was like that, and the fit on that was amazing. So I think that she's probably right. Imagine that, the pattern designer being right. Of course she is. Hi Jay, nice to see you. When we got locked down in March, quilting got canceled. I really miss it. They won't be restarting the classes. I'm thinking of making the blocks that I had made into a cushion cover. Oh, good idea. Craftsy's starting back up. It was Craftsy, then it was Blueprint, then they closed, and now it's going to be Craftsy again. And they have a ton of quilting classes on there. Maybe you could, switch to online classes and, finish what you started with the quilt classes. Sherilyn, I have trouble folding and placing pattern pieces on the straight grain. Any tips? Yeah, I was always taught this, to take the pattern piece and lay it down and measure from one end of the arrow down to the selvage, and then the other end of the arrow down to the selvage, and make sure that there's the same amount between the selvage and the arrow on both ends, and that way you know that it's facing the right way. I've done that ever since. That's the one thing my home ec teacher did teach me. She flunked me. Yeah, I flunked sewing. How about that for the headline? I flunked sewing because my mom taught me how to sew, and I had a teacher who it had to be her way or the highway. And I didn't like her way. Her way was too slow. So instead of being appreciative that I had a mom who taught me to sew, she refused to let me use those and flunked me because I did. So, not the best experience, and probably not the best teacher. But she did teach me how to measure for straight grain. I have idea how to use a knit scrap. Add only the front of the tank top to the woven shirt. Sew at the shoulder seams. It will look like you're wearing a t-shirt with the woven shirt on top. Oh, yeah, that's a great idea. You could do that. I think you could do that, especially if you find a woven top that has a yoke. Then you could, add that underneath even if there's a collar, you could add on almost like a cami look underneath it, and you could just sew it at the yoke. You could do that. Okay, I'm not the only one that was taught that. Yay. Oh, that would have been worse if my mom was like that. Totally worse. So I'm glad it was my teacher, not my mom. I feel for you. We're getting smoked out due to wildfires. I couldn't complain though because we're not in the line. Oh, oh my goodness. Is that, are those in California? Wow. On your way home, just left Joanne's. Oh boy. Sorry, do you have a haul? You're gonna have to post pictures in the group of the haul. I wish you guys could share pictures on this. That's one downside to YouTube's chat. It would be nice to see what you guys are doing. She would ask me to help. Yeah, well, I thought that's how she would be too. I agree, Nina. And by the way, Nina was my grandmother's name. They were, now, if any of you are Mary Poppins fans, you'll know how cool this is. My grandparents were George and Nina Banks, which were the names of the parents in Mary Poppins. So I always wanted to be Jane because I wanted to be the little girl with all the long golden curls and sing Jane and Michael Banks. Anyway, that's a digress there. Yeah, it's really funny how many times the last name Banks is used in shows because I don't know, must not that be as common a name, but that was my maiden name. And in Fresh Prince, that was their name, the Fresh Prince of Bel Air. And in Father of the Bride, they were also George and Nina. So there you go. Oh, we'll definitely be praying for you, Lisa. Rain with no lightning. Yeah, that would be good. Um, I'm so sorry. That's hard. You know, we get the only thing we ever get around here is tornadoes occasionally, and they're not very often here. But we had a real bad one maybe about 5 years ago. It was devastating around here. But we personally didn't have any damage or anything. We'll definitely be praying for California, everyone there. Hi, Kim. Good to see you. I'm going to wait till 3:15 and I have a tip for you guys. So, um, pretty cool. Hi, Patrice. Good to see you here. Hi, Paula. Good to see you. Lisa, I've heard that actually. So I'm sorry you're having to go through that. Definitely be praying for you. Hi, Elizabeth. Good to see you. Yes, California and Louisiana once again is right in the line of fire with two hurricanes. That is, I'm hoping at least one of them goes a different direction. Um, Hurricanes are no fun, even if they're mild. I was in a hurricane in 1983. I think it was 83. Yeah, I was actually uh, living in Houston, and Hurricane Alicia came in right through Galveston, and it stayed a hurricane all the way up to Dallas, and it went right over us. And we had a tree down, but other than that, there was nothing for us. But there was a lot of damage. We didn't have power for several days. They're no fun, no matter. Even if you don't have a lot of damage, they're no fun. And our old house, the last hurricane where they had all the flooding, our old house was completely underwater. So if we had been still living there, our house would have been completely underwater. So sad. I was looking at pictures of our old neighborhood and it's just all underwater, or was all underwater. Tesla, good, nice to see you. That's a very pretty name, Tesla Rose. I love it. Where's the best place to order some inexpensive knits that I can use for fitting? You know what I did? I ordered from Fabric Mart their mystery knit for $1.99. no matter what it is, it's probably going to be something you could use for muslin. And I did it. It's almost like it's a real thin. Excuse me. It's a real thin knit, and I ended up using that for just muslin stuff, and for demonstrating things. On the channel, if I'm when I was demonstrating all the ways to hem, I was using some of that knit, and that was the $1.99 stuff from Fabric Mart. So when you place an order, just throw that mystery knit in there, and then you'll have something. Walmart's another good place to get knit really cheap. Sometimes they'll have, $2 cuts, and they're just, it ends up being like $1 a yard. Like you can't beat it. So, and then a lot of times at Walmart, it's pretty wearable. Like, I mean, it might be a muslin, but the fabric is not that terrible. So sometimes they're really, really wearable. Yet 2020 is nuts. I mean, has there ever been a year that has had this many things happen? I mean, yeah, I'm ready for it to go away. Yeah, but there are places who have it, weather changes a lot worse than what we go through here. But there are parts of the U.S. that really, the Gulf states, all of them have hurricane issues. And then in California, they have earthquakes. We had an earthquake just the other day, a really small one, in Michigan, which we live in Toledo area. So we're like, well, my daughter actually lives over the line, and it's 10 minutes away, and they had a little 3.4 earthquake. You could feel it, um, but nothing huge. But it's very rare to have an earthquake around here. Yes, Teresa, this has been the year where the rubber hits the road for your faith, I think. That's what I see is like, man, if I did not have faith, I do not know how people can cope without having something bigger than all this to hang on to. Not meaning to preach or anything, that's not what I mean, but personally, I don't know how people get through things like this year. I mean, there's just even no matter usually there's stuff going on and it doesn't touch you, like you hear about all this stuff happening, but it's not really, a lot of times it's over there, but this year nobody can say that because the COVID, the threat of that is everywhere. So there's like really nowhere you can go to get away from all the junk this year. So it's all very personal to every single person, and yeah, I'm ready for it to be over for sure. Oh, good. I'll take a look at that. Hope. I'm glad you posted that. Yes, Paula. I'm hoping that the last 3 months of 2020 goes better. I'm thinking the likelihood is that it won't be simply because we have an election, and whichever way it goes, there's probably going to be some upset people that could cause problems, I think. So, yeah, pray for just God's will, because I don't, I'm not touting one or the other. I'm just saying, either way, there's going to be some upset people. Yes, Patricia, or Patrice, I usually try to look at the bright side, and I do know we'll all come out of this, one way or the other. But it's yeah, it's harder to find that bright side right now. New Year's should be great. You are right, Dot. You are right. I mean, there's going to be parties in the streets. Hopefully, COVID will be gone, or then we'll have another resurgence after New Year's. Oh, Judy, or Judith, my mom used to make crazy quilts, is what they call them here, and she used to just keep like paper piecing almost, but she would just keep adding pieces of scraps, and there were like quilts that had like every dress that she made me in them, and really cool. I wish I knew where those were. The only one I have was the one my grandmother did, but that, that would be really cool. Yeah, our Facebook group is Dorothy's Daughter Community. And if you look at one of my videos on the channel, I always have a link in their description. So you can check that too if you just want a direct link there. Her blessing is that her daughter decided not to send her granddaughter to pre-K and asked me to teach her at home. Oh, that's cool. I actually homeschooled my children too, for 10 years. I took them home at second and third grade. Long story, but my son has Tourette syndrome, and the school did not handle it well. So we noticed that his symptoms always went away during the summer and got worse as soon as he even thought about school. So we thought, what would happen if? And so we prayed about it and decided to homeschool. And then there were so many more reasons to keep homeschooling after that. So that was one of the best decisions I've ever made. My children are thriving. They're 36 and 38 now, and they are both homeschooling their children. So there you go. Yes, Brenda, we do. Nice to see you, by the way. Hi, Marge, from Southern California. Hi, Glenda. Sorry, we don't. I don't get usually this philosophical, but thank you. I'm so glad you're here. Dan, homeschool mom here. Oh wow, we have a lot of homeschool moms in the sewing community. I was talking online with Viv Mom. I don't know if you, I don't know if you guys watched her, but we haven't really been like known each other very long. But I heard she was having health problems, and somebody on here actually told me she liked vintage patterns, and I was gonna send her some, and so I reached out to her on Instagram, and we got to chatting. We have a lot in common, but she didn't need any more vintage patterns, so I still have them all. But if you know anybody who would like some vintage patterns, let me know. If I might post them on eBay. Not all of them, but some that I know I'll never use again, that don't have any memory attached to them. I have one pattern. Oh, I'm going to show it to you guys because it's right there. Sorry, I'm not very graceful when I move around. This is, look at this. It is a McCall's pattern, ladies and Mrs. skirt. And it is the copyright down here. Where did I see that? $19.50. How about that? Found this in my mother-in-law's stuff when we moved her into assisted living. So I mean this is really old. I think I'm gonna frame this one in here because it's really cool. It's got a lot of just a real simple skirt, way too small for me. But I don't think I'll get rid of this because I think it's really special. So, really, you have the same one? That's cool. Yeah, it is. It's not cut either. It's not. It hasn't been sewn or anything. It's all still here. So yeah, I think it's a treasure. So I think I'm just gonna frame it and put it in here somewhere. Maybe I'll do a couple other ones just to kind of change up. I have a lot of Mickey Mouse stuff in here now, so maybe I ought to help my room grow up a little bit. Although I love Mickey. Oh, that's cool. I miss her too, Hope. She's taken some much needed time off. She was, um, you know, doing putting uh, a lot into her channel, and I think, not maybe not pausing enough to get a breath, and so she took some time off that was probably really needed, and she comes back, she'll be better than ever, I'm sure. Oh, thank you, Pat. I appreciate that. Oh, how cool! Your 13-year-old daughter, Jan. What type of garments does she like? Vintage patterns? Because maybe I'll send her some. Would you PM me? Either on Instagram or Facebook, one or the other, and I will see if I can't maybe get a little package together for her of some. Thank you, Bridget. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I maybe I'll tell her that I don't talk to her a lot, but I can message her and say, hey, by the way, my subscribers in my online chat said they miss you, so maybe I could talk her into you know jumping in sometime or something. I don't know. I don't know her that well, so I'll just talk to her for a little bit. Yep, me too. Me too. I'll be waiting for her to come back. I always thought all of her makes in however many minutes were just, I mean, just she was a quick change artist, really something. So, oh, it's 3:20. Time past time for the tip. Okay. So I'm going to give you my quick tip today. All right. I have a love-hate relationship with these things. They are hair bands, okay? And if I had a penny for every, as a photographer, if I had a penny for every one of these that took off the wrist of a bridesmaid because they were going to be in pictures, I'd be rich, right? I would have never had to buy this multi-pack. But let me show you what they do. All right? So, if you take the free arm off of your machine and you take this and you put it around it and you line it up where your seam allowance should be, you have a seam guide that you can move as much as you want. You can be very precise with your seams, but not have anything sticking or magnetic or anything. It just can, be just like that. So put one in your sewing box and you have an instant seam guide. And then if you have long hair and you get hot, you can put a ponytail in. I don't have enough hair for these. I buy these for my granddaughters because they always, when they spend the night, they always forget one. So I always have them for them, but I also keep one in my sewing box. So that's my tip for today. Oh yeah, these are great for face masks. I probably could use these because look how many I have. And this package there were 70 of them, and it was only $7. So that was quite a deal. Really cheap. But do you ever see girls constantly wearing them like this? Because they put their hair in ponytails, then they take it out, then they put their hair in a ponytail. And there was a while there where every bridesmaid would have one on their wrist. And so I would be like, take that off. Do you really want that in the pictures? Oh my goodness. It's just another lifetime ago. But I haven't shot a wedding now well, I did shoot one last February just because my good friend's daughter got married, and that was the first one I'd done in like 3 years. So, but I am officially retired now from photography, so I can no longer do it physically. So I actually am about to sell some of my gear. So invest in video gear though, because that would make this channel better. Button loops, good idea, yeah. Probably the smaller ones you'd use for button loops. Although it could be a really nice sturdy loop for a button for sure. Jay says they're also good for when, if you're like me, have a bloat day and your trousers won't stay up. Good point. Good idea. Yep, that does work. And I also have done tied up a t-shirt. You know, if you've got a t-shirt on that's kind of big and you want to tie up a corner, you can use this to kind of help you tie a t-shirt up too. Well, Sam, make sure you take that off your wrist if you're ever getting pictures taken. I've had to edit those out, hundreds of them out in Photoshop. So, yeah, make sure you take it off if you get pictures taken. Yeah. So, what are your sewing plans coming up this week? Anybody got anything working on any big major projects? I'm just doing a lot of little things right now, really. Like I said, I'm doing a couple tests, and I've been sewing like a lot of kids' things, and I'm working on a men's pattern as well. And I haven't done anything for myself in a couple weeks, so I think I need to make myself something new. And I think might do that new tankini by Ellie Mac. Patrice, what dress pattern are you working on? Or maybe you're not allowed to say. Or if you tell me what company, I'll probably know what the test is. Oh, that's a good idea too, on sunglasses. Yeah, that's a great idea. You're working on learning. What new machine did you get, Elizabeth? Which model did you get? Cushion cover for outside seats for your pub. That's cool. That's awesome. So you were closed because of COVID and you're just going to reopen? That's neat. I'm so sorry you had to close, though. This is really hard on businesses. Heidi's working on a Rhapsody. Yes, it is an experience. I agree. Best tip for those slinky fabrics, one of the great tips is to use some starch on the, seams so that, you give them something to hang on to, give the feed dogs something to hang on to. Hope is working on a shirt with princess seams, trying to find the correct size. Okay. Oh, Elizabeth, you got the beauty, the big one, 98.50. That's awesome. The Memory Craft 98.50. Isn't that a new model? Rebecca's trying her first Love Notions pattern, the Rhapsody. Yep, that is a beautiful pattern. I love it. I tested the redesign of that. I was one of the testers. Oh, let's see. Nancy Brannies. Okay. Guilty of planning things to death and wind up not actually getting any sewing done. Oh, I know that feeling. I'm breaking the trend this week, though. I'm going to sew the Cashmere Webster. Oh, I love that pattern. I don't know if you saw my video on it, but I made a Webster a couple weeks ago, and I love that. I wore that Friday night, and we had dinner with my husband's sister. And she's like, "Where did you get that top?" You know, she knows I sew everything, so she knows what the answer to that's going to be. But she says, "That's just beautiful." So, it's just that little detail in the back makes it so classy. I love that pattern. Just whatever, I use whatever starches on sale at the drugstore or grocery store. I mean, um, real cheap. Like I think what I have now is like faultless, but there, there's all different kinds. Oh, that's one that embroiders and sews. Okay, those are nice. I um I may get an embroidery machine at some point, but um I have the silhouette, and so mostly if I want to embellish a garment, I would just use that. But I love the embroidery too, so maybe down the road if I ever have room. I had to really reconfigure everything to fit my excuse me, my cover stitch, and my Skyline 7 is a lot bigger than my old machine, so it needed its own desk. So I had to really move stuff around in here, but I really like my new configuration. Are you making the Ellie and Mac new swimsuit pattern? Yes, I want to. Um, are you testing right now, Patricia? I'm doing the men's straight fit raglan, and I'm doing the kids twisted top. So cool. Thank you very much, and I appreciate you watching. So do you do a lot of embroidery, Elizabeth? Um, I keep wondering. I think that would be a great little business to just embroider things for people. I think people still like it. So I have a question. If any of you use a silhouette or a Cricut? I've had my silhouette for years and years, and I love it. But I'm trying to go computer laptop-less. I'm working everything to the iPad. I can edit my videos on it. I've got everything, every piece of that puzzle, except my silhouette. And even they came out with a new app that's on beta testing, and I've even tried that. But you still have to design on the computer. So I need to. I'm thinking about going to Cricut because it's all done on an iPad. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on the Cricut Maker if you have one, because I'm considering jumping ship and getting a Cricut Maker. Cool. The Ellie and Mac swimsuit was your first. How did you find the swimsuit? Any tips for sewing it? I haven't done mine. I've bought the pattern, but I haven't sewn it yet. You have the Brother Scan and Cut. Isn't that more designed for quilters and stuff than heat transfer vinyl? Or maybe I'm wrong. Cricut Explore Air. You haven't really used it for sewing projects, just vinyl signs. Okay. Oh, wow, you bought a Juki Industrial. How nice. They're wonderful. I don't see myself ever having one because my room is way too tiny. And I like my toys. I'd have to get rid of other machines, and I don't want to do that. So, cool. Well, maybe I'll look into that as a possibility. Um, I'm afraid if I bought the embroidery thing, I wouldn't use it very much. Um, I sew for my grandkids, but only to a certain age. Then they don't want things embroidered anymore. So, and you really can't put a name on kids' clothing either. At least I never do. I'll put it on like a bag that I know they won't be carrying on the outside, like never a backpack or anything that they would be wearing, because kids can be, um, you know, little kids respond to somebody who says their name, and then before you know it, they're off with the stranger. Using a power mesh in the bra lining. Okay. Okay. I appreciate that. I was planning on using power mesh for the whole lining, actually. Um, and I'm probably not going to make those bottoms. I'm probably just going to make that top, because I really like the, um, what's the name of that skirt? Skirt. 5 out of 4. Their skirt. Oh, Shenanigans skirt from 5 out of 4. I think I'm probably going to do that one as the bottoms. Oh, good. Thank you, Nancy. I'll do that. Ingrid, hi. Nice to see you. Helping with the editing of the daily devotional online videos. Well, yeah, me too. But we don't have daily. We just have Wednesday and Sunday. Oh, I wish you were here so you could help me. I'm a team of one, and I'm trying to find people to help me, and there does not seem to be anybody that. We have a really small church, and it's just really hard to find volunteers. It's hard to find somebody that isn't already doing 3 things. But yeah, I'd love to just give it to somebody, because I have a degree in worship, leadership, worship and arts leadership, and worship is my love, and doing the video takes me away from, spending the time doing worship. So, yep, I would love to give that to somebody. Good, Patrice. Thank you. I appreciate that. But you haven't used it for sewing yet. Okay. Oh, thank you, Pat. That's good to know. Awesome. I don't care about the colors. It doesn't show anyway. Yeah, I'm thinking about, actually, my silhouette. I love it. I've had it. Oh, I've done so many. I used to make bride and groom shirts for every one of my brides and grooms. So I have, tons of heat transfer vinyl, and I have a heat press, and I do a lot of Christmas gifts, really quick things. I've done glass etching, made stencils, a lot of different things, and I would love to be able to um, just send the design from my iPad. And I steered away from Cricut in the beginning because you needed the cartridges, and with Silhouette you could just hook it up to your computer. But now Cricut is just as versatile as the Silhouette, and I'm sort of mad that they can't seem to get that technology when Cricut's had it for years. And then their new app is disappointing, and so I don't know. I'm thinking about jumping ship. Oh, bless you, Ingrid. I'll be praying for you. I just unpacked our new camera for church because we've been using my phone, which is not good. So I just unpacked a new camera and microphone and everything for church. And I think it's going to work really well. But it's so scary when you're buying things for something like that, because what if I made the wrong decision? But I think we're going to be good. Okay, good. Thank you, Patrice. Yeah, I heard that too. But they don't have to have all the functionality. I mean, they could have at least some of it. Um, I don't know. Bluetooth's been around for a long time. I don't know if you can send stuff to a printer. Why can't you send it there? That's what I don't understand. Oh, that's cool. So you have the maker, Kathy. Yeah, cool. My sound cut out? Uh-oh. Hang on. It's back? Okay. Oh, I wonder why. I'm sorry about that. And I have a fresh battery in my microphone, so shouldn't have. So sorry, guys. Hmm. That happened last week, too. It cut out for just a minute and then came back. Well, if it goes out again, let me know. Hopefully it'll hang in there for 20 more minutes, right? Good. Anybody have any sewing questions? I um I have a couple of ideas for videos that have come up. One of them is on things to do while you're sewing, like, things that you can enhance your sewing time, um, like, listening to things or watching things, or, just different things that can enhance your sewing time. I also was going to do a video on unusual things that I could find in my sewing room, like this. Um, that's one idea. Another one was, well, of course, the Serger Basics is next up on the knit thing. And then after that will be neck bands and cuffs. Um, and then I think we've probably covered knits pretty well. So 2 more videos on the knit stuff. Let's see. And I'm going to do a review of the bathing suit from Ellie and Mac. And then I'll probably do videos on the things I'm testing right now. So yeah, I got a full plate. Okay, thanks, Teresa. You know what, Kathy Ann? Let me show you what I use on my shoulder seams. Just grabbed a little piece of it. Sorry for my shoulder in the shot there. This is selvage that I got off of quilting cotton. And I put the finished edge out, and I just serged that right in, so that the part that I cut gets cut off when you serge, and it makes a really nice stabilization for your shoulders, without having the elastic feeling on your shoulders, because it's very comfortable, and you don't need it to stretch. Um, there, that part does not need to stretch. In fact, you don't want it to, because you don't want it to stretch out of shape. So this is what I use. I cut selvages off, and I just keep them. And I mean, yeah, they have some printing on them, but pretty much it gets absorbed into the seam. And these have been washed, so they're not gonna fade. So that's what I use. Free too. So when you cut your quilting cotton, save the selvages, or, you know, anything that's a stable woven. I know. I have a hard time catching all of them too, and I apologize if I don't respond to all of them. Okay. Patrice, how do you deal with fear when cutting out expensive fabric? Do you get scared that you'll mess it up? Yes and no. I just figure it's just fabric. It's not going to kill anyone, even though it might be expensive. I've made some expensive mistakes, and I probably haven't made my last one, but you know, it's like nothing ventured, nothing gained. So if you don't cut it, then you don't know how amazing it can be. So I would say just go for it. Wondering if you can direct me to any of my videos which discuss negative ease. Oh, there's a topic. I don't think I've done a video on that, but there's a great topic to add to this knit series. Yes, I will talk about that in the next knit video. I'll just add a little section onto it. It'll be serger basics, but I'll also talk about ease in knits. Yeah, I don't have a video on that yet, but that's a great idea. To the person that was asking about arm sights, basically the armhole. Oh, okay. Hope says, when I sew, I watch live video like this today, but in record and different sew along. Oh, cool. Thank you, 8 Little Stitches. Let's see. Sound is back. Good. Oh, let's see. It's hard to get. Yes, it's very hard. Knit salvage. This is woven. Just woven. You know, this is cut off because it says Disney, so it's something I made for the kids. And I just, you know, it's got the, well, this piece, yeah, it's got the colors on there and everything. Yep, I just cut off, you know, this much and serge it on. It makes great, and it's not uncomfortable at all. All right. Yes, when you make a mistake, you learn something. Agreed. Yes, with a serger, most definitely the order that you thread it matters. Unless your serger says it doesn't matter. I have a serger that's now that says it doesn't matter, but my old one, if you didn't do it in exactly the right order, it would never, like, you had to do the upper, lower, needle 1, needle 2. You had to do it in that order or it didn't work. It's crazy. Got 3 meters of Ceruti wool fabric. I haven't even heard of that. Sounds beautiful. Sounds Italian. Oh, good. I'm glad you're sewing, Mary. Elizabeth, my serger is very picky about the order. Yeah, my old one was too, but this one isn't. I like it. Oh, thank you, Allison. I appreciate that so much. Okay, 10 years, Paula. It's time to make something. You have what? How many people are in here right now? It says 103. Okay, we have 103 people keeping you accountable to use that fabric. I want to see it. I just experienced a looper thread breaking. All I did to correct was unthread and thread in the order, the manual. Yep, that's right. That's what you have to do. You know, how long have you had your serger? You may have said. You can order a new knife if it isn't. I don't know what model you have, but sewing machine parts, I think that one place online, they have knives of almost all the different sergers. And they're not too hard to change. I think you just usually a screw and put it on there, and it's not too hard. Um, but they do have to be changed every now and then. My old one that I still have, but I don't use anymore, really needs a new blade. So if I give that or sell that, I'm going to need to get a new blade for it. Paula, you got the whole group on you to make something out of that fabric. You need to post a picture of that fabric on the Facebook group so we can drool over it and wait and see what you make. Yeah, me too, Rebecca. I would make a test muslin if it's real expensive fabric for sure. Okay, I'm gonna look for that, Paula. No, I don't usually sew. A lot of people just like to chat, so it's real hard to keep up with your comments. And so I did give a tip though, um, on using a hairband for a seam guide. I'll show you real quick since it's easy. You have a hairband and you can put it right around here, and you can move this any old which way that you need to, and it's a beautiful seam guide. And I think mine will be too tight, but you can, in a lot of cases, slide the free arm back on, so that you don't, so you can still have the workspace. Hi, Linda. Good to see you. Yeah, Paula's got a cheering team. She sure does. Thank you. All right. So, Ingrid, how is your hip doing? Are you doing well? I'd love to know. Hi, Beach Baby. Good to see you. I recognize all these names. You guys have become like friends. I look for you in other, like, I look through the comments on other people's videos to see if any of you guys are over there. I've looked for all of you on Instagram. So, yeah, you can feel free to chat in other spaces with me because I love that. When I sew, you watch reruns of Elementary on Hulu. Huh, I wonder what that is. I have not. Is that a series? Is that one I need to watch? Uh-oh. I'm in a show hole right now, where you don't have a series to watch. I love Grantchester and I'm watching that, but my husband doesn't want me to watch any without him, so I can't watch them up here in my sewing room. So I need another series to watch. I'm waiting for the next season of Virgin River to come on Netflix. That show, if you haven't watched Virgin River, that's a really, really good series. And yeah. Yeah, Instagram's really easy. It's basically just sharing photos and a few thoughts. It's not long posts like Facebook, just short little things. Teresa is still working on the cushion covers. Okay, cool. Okay. Tomorrow Allison's going to have to go with her overlocker for the first time. Oh, you're going to have a go with your overlocker. I hate to say I've had it for over 12 months and we'll just, yes, take the plunge. You're going to love that overlocker so much. Serger overlocker, for those of you that don't know, are the same thing. You're going to love it so much. Yes, audiobooks are really great when you're sewing. I do that a lot too. Gold radio? Aw, that's so sweet. Thank you, Nancy. I appreciate that. Oh, you know what? Don't get a mindset that the V-necks are hard, because they're not. You'll be fine, Regina. You will be fine. And it's just take your time. It's not something you can rush. So just take your time, line it up the way they tell you, and it will be fine. And make sure you clip, um, clip not to but not through the stay stitching or whatever. Make sure you do that, and it'll be just perfect. I don't know. Did you see the my friend Noreen Mays had a little video that she posted. I think it's on the Love Notions channel, if I'm not mistaken, on putting in a perfect V-neck. So you might want to check out that video if you haven't already. Oh, wow. That would be cool. I need to watch that show. I have not talked about elastics yet, but that would be a good video too. Different kinds of elastic and how you use them. There you go. That's cute. Laugh at the stupid looking seams. Jeopardy. That's, well, you'll increase your knowledge of everything then. Yeah, I like to listen to that Love to Sew podcast. That's really a good one. The bralette from the Luna. That's a good. That's a good pattern. Um, I would interface it just with either really like a SF 101 that's sort of a lightweight woven. If you interface it with a woven, um, I think you can treat it like a woven pretty much. But keep in mind you are going to lose the stretch if you fuse non-stretch interfacing to it. It becomes a woven as far as behaving in a pattern goes.
Motion detected at the front door.
Somebody's at my front door. I think my husband's out there, maybe. Yes, I love Virgin River too. What type of elastic are you looking for, Linda? Amazon has quite a bit you can order really quickly too. Oh, yes, Etsy has a ton of all kinds of elastic. Yeah, it's funny because of masks. Lots of people are having trouble keeping sewing machines in stock, especially like the new beginner models. And that's what my sewing machine dealer told me, that he can hardly keep used or new them in stock. And weirdness, but elastic. I mean, I know it's because of masks, but like elastic is really hard to find too. And just it's just really interesting. I'll tell you something else that I have not been able to find. It's crazy the little random things that are not there in this pandemic. And I'm looking for canning lids. I have looked everywhere for, the seals for the jars. I've looked everywhere. And I'm going to start um, begging pretty soon because it's almost tomato season. And I always can a whole bunch of pizza sauce and spaghetti sauce. And I cannot find the lids. I mean, I always can corn, and this year I froze it because I couldn't find lids. So let me know if you know where to find canning lids, please. Oh, you'll have Amazon. That's cool. We actually are getting an Amazon facility right close to my house. So hopefully we'll be able to get that like same day delivery or something pretty soon. Fold over elastic. Okay. Lots of places on Etsy have that. The what I ordered from Etsy. Canning, Brenda, are you talking about canning lids or elastic? I can't tell. I will go to Dollar General like now if they have them. I think a lot of people are canning because they're afraid of the winter. I just do it always, so I just want my regular lids that I always buy at this time of year, and I cannot find them. Good store in, oh wow, in Pennsylvania. Huh. Aw, that's nice. Made everyone lavender bags. How beautiful. I will go over to Dollar General and see if they have them. And I'll look up that good store too. Maybe they'll ship them. Maybe they would ship them. All right. It's just weird the things that you can't find. So yeah, I can. Well, actually, it's around the corner from my house, so it's not like I can just stop there when I'm out. Tractor Supply. Good thought. We've got one of those too. Okay, thank you. I will try all those places. Ace Hardware. Okay, I don't think we have one anymore. I think it closed. But oh, thank you all so much for those suggestions. Well, it is 4 o'clock, so I'm going to be signing off here in a few moments. Anybody have questions or anything that they want to share? Did you all take my little survey about Patreon the um, in the community tab? I am thinking about doing Patreon, but I don't want to just do it like everyone else does, where you just get inside look. I mean, I actually want to give you guys. I'm sort of a what's the word? I'm an open book, and so I think you guys know me pretty well. So Patreon wouldn't, if that's what I gave for Patreon, that wouldn't really be anything more than what you have because I'm an open book, and so I don't. I wanted to make it like actually worth your time if I did it. So had a couple ideas, and like one-on-one help was one of them. Maybe some classes where we actually sit on Zoom and sew together, um, or pre-recorded classes on topics. So let me know if you haven't already what you think. I don't necessarily have to do it, but it is an added value for people, and it is a way to support the channel. So let me know what you think about that. I don't want to do it unless it's going to be an added value, something that people really will help them. So let me know. Oh, good. Thank you. Thank you guys. I appreciate you guys more than you know. Thank you, Dan. All right. That's helpful. Oh, we'll definitely have a Zoom. One of these days maybe we'll have a Zoom party just to have one. And we'll sew, and everybody can get their own glass of wine. Maybe we'll all wear outfits that we made. We can do something fun like that. All right. Well, good night, Paula. Good afternoon, everybody else. And I am going to sign off now and go spend the evening with my husband. So thank you all so very much. And I will see you online and in the group. Bye-bye. Oh, Dot, it's on the community tab on my channel. Good to see you guys.